day of May, the last day of craft every day in May. I know some of you are like doing that happy dance. Okay, thank you to everyone that participated. Love you all. For the grand finale, drum roll, brrr, I did the tutorial for this. Yay! I did the tutorial. I knocked it out. This is a very long video. I hope you actually enjoy it. I hope you use it. I want to tell you that I am happy to tell you that these are the free cut-aparts. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7. You get 7 pages of cut-aparts. I made them all. They will be linked below. If you have a Cricut, the Cricut cut file will also be linked below. So this is my gift to you for being a part of Craft Every Day in May with me. It wasn't just me that was doing the work. You guys were working at watching me. You didn't have to watch me. You chose to watch me. I hope that you enjoyed everything that I put out this month. So, as a thank you gift, this is a giveaway. Yes, this is the book I made in the tutorial. Look at the beautiful little bling. I'm giving this away. In order to be a part of this giveaway, it's only open to the people of the United States. I'm so sorry. So you have to be a U.S. resident, 18 or older. You have to hit that thumbs up button. You have to be a subscriber, and you have to leave me a comment. That's all you have to do. And maybe if you'd like, follow me on Instagram at Donna Powered by Creativity. That would be pretty cool if you followed me on Instagram. These are all for you all. Thank you so, so much for being a part of this month-long journey. I hope you enjoy this. This is the really cute TN that I made from start to finish. You see this? This is the dashboard. You get that printable for that. You get this. This is the tutorial for this amazing sewed plastic pocket with the snaps. That's in this video. I think I'm also going to be making that a separate video so that you don't have to do the entire TN. You get the folders and all of the cut-aparts when you win this TN. And the washi. Thank you for being a part of this month-long journey. Thank you to all my new subscribers, my old subscribers, my besties. Thank you to YouTube and everything that our craft community stands for. Enjoy the rest of the video. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all real soon. So this is what I've done. I've taken the 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that my husband John actually picked out for me in a challenge that I had given him to go buy 5 craft items for me. I'll link that video below. Please go check it out. So I printed one out on cardstock, and I printed one out on copy paper. So one's thick and one is light. So this is what I'm going to do. With my ATG gun, I just roll all 4 sides. Just like that. And I actually got a piece of yesterday's crafting in it. And let me put just a drop there. And then what I like to do is I give it a crisscross. Crisscross. Just like that. Now make sure that your sides are together. Like, you know, right sides up. I'm sorry, my husband just got home and he's down at the barn and the dogs can see him. So line it up. Just like that. Slow and steady. And there you have it. And then I got a little bit of that ATG on it. No big deal. Then I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And it doesn't matter what side you score on. It really doesn't. So this is 8.5 by 11. It's one of those days. 8.5 by 11. So 5.5 is center. So what I want to do is I want to give it a 1-inch spine. So what I do is this. I score at the 5 and I score at the 6. Get the scoreboard out of the way. And then what I like to do is I fold it now on the crease. And then I'll turn it over and I'll do this side. Just like that. I'm gonna now go start the laminator up. While my laminator is heating up, I grabbed a laminating sheet. I want to make sure that there's always going to be something on it, especially in this house between crafting, cats, dogs, young adults. Okay, so I like to put it in, and then when I close it, I like to make sure that I keep my end along this here line. This way I can tell if I'm kind of straight or not. And I line it up the best I can. I get it that way. And now once my laminator's heated up, I'll be back. Now that it's laminated and folded, laminated, I fold it again. Just like that. And now it's time to grab the tools I need. Now to do the center hole, I do use this. I'm going to zoom these out. Sorry guys, so sorry. I do use this. And what's really cool about this tool is, I've always wanted this, and I finally got it, I think within this last year. So it's the Crocodile, but just a bigger version. And it actually has measurements on the sides so that you know where center is. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to go to my 4.5 mark over here. And then I know I'm center. You do not need this tool. You really don't. Just get something pointy. Just put, get something pointy and poke a hole in it. Okay? Poke a hole in it. Now, that's the only thing I use that one for right now. I do grab my small Crocodile and I line up my guard. There's a guard on here that you figure out exactly where you want your hole to be. Sorry if my head gets in the way for just a second. I know I want it right about there. Then I tighten it up. It's this here guard right there. I move it to the location I want. And then I punch 3 holes. 1 in the center, 1 on the right, and 1 on the left. Same thing on the opposite side. And for some reason, I'm stuck. Okay. Alright, so we have 3 holes. And now what I do is I figure out what color elastic I'd like to use. And I think I want to use red on this one because I do have an abundance of red. I do have a big roll. I got this on Amazon. I do want to buy it in white and black. It is 2 millimeter and the length is 70 millimeters, which I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. So, now we're ready to thread it. So, my book is closing this way because I've already folded my creases. And this is how I do it. I come up through the bottom right, down through the center. Then I bring it to the top and go through the center. Make sure I have enough slack. Okay, I go to the top left and go down. I come all the way down to the bottom left and come up. Then I give myself just a little bit more slack. Okay, and then I'm going to just trim it, and I'm going to go down through the center. A little tight because my elastic is a thick one, but that's okay. Patience, and it will go through. Okay, now that I'm in, I'm going to go up. So I'm going to give myself just a little bit more slack. Just like that. I'm going to go, so if we're still working this way, right, I'm going to go up to the center and come through. Again, I probably have to just trim that so that I don't have any frays. Like I said, we're going to come up through the center. And give out some more slack. And then we're going to go down through the right. Okay, now we're going to flip it over, and we're going to make sure that we have enough slack. See how great that looks? Alright, so now I just got to give myself enough room to tie it. I'm just going to give it a knot. Okay, and then I'm just going to loosen up. Now I'm going to grab a piece of elastic, and I'm just going to go from the center of my book and double it, right? And I'm going to see where I want it to go. So then I'm going to just cut it, but I'm not going to do, well, let's do this. You know what? Let's look for some, I'm going to look for some charms, and I'll be right back. I found this cute little charm that says believe. So what I do is this, I grab both ends, and those both ends have to go through that little hole in the TN that we made earlier, our first hole. So get one in, and then I will grab, oh, my neck. I have such a stiff neck. I don't know where my poker is, but this will work. So if you grab it and you kind of just push it in, it goes. And then when you get them both through, okay, or if you like me, you got one through, and you gotta do it again. Bear with me. Alright, that one's in. So you grab them both, pull them through, tie yourself a knot. Now you could pull this all the way through, tie the knot, and then pull it back so that you're not struggling with this little piece of elastic. And there you go. So now our Believe is done, and I'll show you how I'll wrap it when we're done. Now we're on to the next parts. And now I'm going to grab the little adhesive squares from the these are from the dollar spot at Target. So I add one to the front, and I add one to the back. Ta-da! Right? That part's done. Moving on. I picked up these Illustrate Fate little tags, and I thought to myself, how cool are these for bookmarks? So what I do was I grabbed it, and I have the tag topper from Stampin' Up. So I'm just going to tag the top. Take the top. Except this topper, this punch gives me a hard time every single time I use it. Every single time. But that's okay. And then I'm going to grab 2 pieces of coordinating ribbon that I want to use as a part of this. I picked out these 2 colors because I want colors that pop, that are like in this paper. So I think I got these from Tuesday Morning, and I'm loving that I'm using them. Actually, this one looks almost Christmassy, but it's got the same colors. And what I do is I just grab 2, and then I figure out how long I want my ribbon to be, and I trim it. And I fold them together like that. I'm so sorry, my camera's crooked. Fold them together, and I stick them through the tag. And then I open up that, and I stick them through. And I just pull it through. And I straighten it out a little. Just like that. Isn't that adorable? But it doesn't always stay. So what I do is I fix it up just the way I like it. And what's nice is that all the colors are coordinating. You see that? And once I pull it through, I have this really cute punch. And right now there are blue staples in it. Punch. It's a stapler. And what I do is I staple it twice. I staple it once on this side, and it's a pretty staple. Can you see how pretty that is? And I staple it again on the other side. Actually, I'm not going to this time. I'm just stapling it there because this side is actually covering it up. How adorable, right? And then I trim off my edges so that they look pretty. And that part is done. Now I'm going to add the 2 books that I want to put inside of this TN. The first is going to be the gratitude book that I actually put inside my own book. And I just slide that in. And then I'm going to slide the second one in, which is just for notes and doodling. Or you can make it whatever you'd wish. And then I'm going to put that in there. So these 2 are done. Now what I want to do is I want to make the envelopes with you. Not the envelopes, the folders. And I'm going to show you how I do that. Now this is how I do it. I take my ruler and I measure the inside of my book. So I know my book is 5 inches and I want my folder to be less than 5 inches. Actually, this one can be No, I want it less than 5 inches. So I'm going to make my folder 4.5. Make it 5 inches. So in order to make it 5 inches, I know it took me a few seconds, I'm going to cut my paper at 10 inches because when you fold it in half, it's then 5 and 5. So I'm going to cut it at 10. And then the height of my book is 8 1/4. And then I like to add 3 inches for the flat. So I'm going to then cut it to 11 1/4. 11 1/4. And then with it on my scoreboard, sorry, my camera's crooked. With the 11 1/4 at the top, I'm just going to score it at 3 inches. And then with it at the 10 inch at the top, I'm going to then score it at 5 inches. I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to fold it over. And with it still folded like this, I cut this on a diagonal. So my opening is on this side, my closed end is on my right because I'm a righty. I take my scissors and I cut just about, I don't know, 1/4 inch off, and I go up on a diagonal to that score line. Do you see how I did that? So that when I open it and I go to fold it, it has that look to it. And then with my art glitter glue, which I do believe needs to be opened. Yeah, I thought so. I glue just the sides. So I run, a bead of glue down the side, and I close it. And I do it again on this side. And there you have one of your folders. Just like that. I'm going to round my corners. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch side, and I'm going to round that one, and I'm going to round that one. So then I'll take this and I'll stick it in that back band, just like this. Now what I did was, on my original one, I made which I don't know where I did with it. There it is. I want to show you. On my original one, I made the second folder. I made the second folder just a tad smaller so that you can see them. And I want to do the same thing with this one. So if we made the other one 10, right? I'm going to make this one 9 1/2. Yeah, I'm going to make that 9 1/2, and then we're going to do the 11 1/4. With the 11 1/4 side, we're going to score at 3 inches. Whoops. And at the 9 1/2, we're going to score it in half, which would make it 4 3/4. Going to fold up, open it, fold over, right? And then with the opening on my left-hand side, depends on if you're a righty or lefty, I'm going to cut off that diagonal. I'm going to grab my art glitter glue, I'm just going to crease them better. I didn't do that on the last one, but okay. I'm going to fold and glue. And then we're going to round the corners. Just like that. I'm loving how all these colors just pop. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it inside that fourth, which is actually the third. And you see how you could see them? They transition. Alright, now let's figure out a couple of the other things. This is what I have decided to do. I printed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5 printable sheets that I am going to link below in a file to my Google Drive, print them, and fussy cut them. Now, these that don't have anything around it, a circle punch would work. If not, trace a circle around it and cut it out. Same thing with these, or just fussy cut it any way you want. But I'm going to include these free printables that I created myself for you to use in your prayer journals. Now, if you have a brother scan and cut, scan it in and cut them out. How fun would that be? But you know what? If you don't have a machine, just fussy cut them. I'll be back after I cut them. Now that I have them all cut out, I'm thinking of this. I'm not going to decorate the inside of the folders because I think that because this is a prayer journal, prayer TN, I think it should be your own. Now, when you saw the pictures of these, I don't know if you realized, but there's a blank one. And the blank one is for you to write your own prayer or gratitude. So what I'm thinking of doing is this. I'm going to take them, well, these here can go right in here, just like that. Okay? Now, I grabbed my loot bags that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I think I'm going to, wow, these don't open that way, huh? Wow, guess you gotta cut them open. I'm gonna grab one of them, and I'm just going to neatly put all of these cut aparts inside the loot bag, just like that, with, let's see, what can I grab? I am going to grab out of my stash one of these clips, paper clips. I think I'll grab that one, and I'll fold it down, and I'm going to close it like that, and that's going to go inside of here. Then I will grab 2 more. He loves you and grow in him. Let me stick them back in my folder. One will go in one book, and then one will go in the other book. So cute, right? So cute. All right, let's see what is next. What's next is the dashboard and the pen. And I'll show you what I have in mind for those. So for this pen, I'm loving, I don't know if you could see all these wonderful colors that are in here. Reds and the teals and the aquas and the pinks. I mean, can you see all those? Loving it. So I decided that I want to take the rose and make the pen. And I have this beautiful purple, what do they call this stuff again? What do they call it? What do they call it? Florist tape that I have been itching to use, because it's usually in green. You know, they make it green so it looks like the stem of the flower, but I have wanted to use, I have it in a blue and I have it in this nice purple. So I want it to do it in the purple. So I'm sure that you guys have all seen this. This has been around, oh my gosh, for so long. So you just wrap it around real tight, and if you've seen this, please feel free to hit that fast forward button. I like to go up, go down, and then right where that stem was, the end of the stem, I kind of go back up, because it's just a little bulky and I don't want it to poke through. I go back down and then I'll go back up one more time. This is one of my favorite things to make. I guess because it's really instant gratification. It's like you have this beautiful craft that was therapeutic, mindless, and in a matter of a minute, it's finished. So, right there, and then voila, it's done. And then I leave just enough so that the cap can go on, and I think it's going to look beautiful with this. How stinking cute. So the pen is done. Now I need to figure out what I want to do for the dashboard. So give me a second or two to come up with an idea for that. I just realized as I was working on that last project that I forgot to corner chomp these. Yeah, I started working in Design Space for the dashboard, and I'm looking at the designs, and I go, oh my gosh, I forgot to corner chomp them. Now, you don't have to corner chomp yours. You can. That's totally up to you. If you want to use round, you use round. If you want to use scallop, use scallop. You know, your book, your decisions. So I just wanted to try to do step by step with you on what I'm doing in this TN, and I don't want to leave anything out. I want to fix that one. And then I have one more, which is the blank one. Huh. It's amazing how you're in the middle of something and the light bulb goes off and you go, forgot about that. So, corner chomp those, rounded them, and now time to put that back. Alright, did that, and now I'm still working on the dashboard. Let's see what I come up with. Alright, so this is what I have come up with for a dashboard. With God, all things are possible, and talk to God about it. I didn't do them on my other one, but I don't know, I feel like doing them on this one. I'm trying to work fast because I don't want the video to be so long. But you know what? The best part about this is it takes me a little while to film and edit and upload, blah blah blah. But if you don't want to watch me or hear me, you have the ability to fast forward me. Donna, we don't want to hear you. Fast forward. I know how to do this part. Don't need her. I'm actually loving this dashboard. I truly am. So I'm just going to line it up. Just like that. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it inside the piece of laminate. And I'm going to go over to my laminating machine. Hot out of the laminator. How stinking cute is this? So next up is what I like to do is I take this tag punch from Stampin' Up. You can use a circle punch, you can use a scallop punch, whatever it is that you like to use. And this is what we're doing. You can just cut a square out if you want. I'm going to take this, I'm going to find my bone folder, and what I like to do is I like to break up the fibers in the paper just a little. And I like to round it. And by doing this, you see how it's already taking shape? Just like that, right? And then what I like to do is, I like to line it up, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring it down halfway. And I am going to use some tape runner, because that will help me line it up exactly where I want it, and it will stay. And I'll show you what I do. I'm going to do this side. Actually, I need to put that in more. Hold on. Lined up, lined up. Okay, so it's lined up now, and I'm going to grab my crocodile that has something in it. So give me just a quick second. No matter how much you try to have everything ready, alright, because I need to be able to look in that little hole. And line it up exactly where I need it. Alright, it's lined up. Punched out my hole right there. And now what I want to do is I want to grab my box of brads. Now I have lots of different ones. I can do a colored gem, I could do a star, I can do a heart if I wanted to, which I'm kind of liking. I kind of like the heart. See the heart? I'm going to zoom these in because I don't need to be that far away. So let's see if I do a colored gem. I do have these really pretty colored gems. Actually I can. Look at that. Do you see how pretty that is? And what I do is this. I cut them just a little. Let me grab, sorry for my reach. I grab my little pliers and I snap off a small amount. And then I open it up, and I might have to trim it just a little bit more, and you'll see why. Okay, so see how we did that? Now I like to come in with a gem. And I'm going to grab my box of gems. Like this one happens to say dream. Okay, this one says love. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add that. But you see how when I put it down you could still see parts of that silver in the background? So I'm going to trim it down just a little bit more, because I don't want to see that. And this is sharp at this time, so be careful. And now I'm just going to go over to my hot glue gun and I'm going to glue this on. I will be right back. And just like that, it's glued on and it's secured. I have the pretty little dot on that side, and I've got the word love on this side. And then you take this and it slides in just like that. And then it goes inside of your book. So this goes inside my other one. And now the only thing left is the washi tape and the tutorial on the folder, which I know everybody's waiting on. So let me show you how I do the washi tape. In this part, it's where I take the washi and I take 2 cards, and these are 2 inches, and then I cut the top off like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the washi out of the container, if it will come out, and I just wrap it around a few times. I'll show you how. So I start off close to the top, and then I wrap it around like 2 or 3 times. So some washi is easier than others to pull, so this is all I do. Just like that. And then what I try to do is I try to stop it perfectly on the design. This way, as I gift this, they have some really beautiful washi to add to their journaling. Share, share, that's fair. You know, that's why I used to tell my kids all the time. When they would get a new toy or they'd play with something, they'd say, oh, I want to play with it, blah, blah, blah. And I'd always say to them, share, share, that's fair. And I keep the cuts on the same side. And that's all I do. I'll be back when I'm finished. So I wrap the washi around, and because I had 2 packages, I have 2 cards. And what I do to keep them the same size, I kind of just put them together, and I see where the last one was cut, and I trim it so they're the same size. And then what I'll do is this. I'll take the book, and I already have something in that pocket, and I already have something back here, so I'm going to put this here. Just like that. So the washi goes here. Now, last and final part of this project is, drum roll please, is how I made this really cute insert. And this is the insert we're going to make right now from this. These are the poly envelopes from the Dollar Tree. You don't have to use those. You can use any poly envelope you have. So with this one, what I do is I bring in my cutter, and you see how this is already perforated. This is something that you would put in a binder. It's actually a pretty cool concept. I really do. I actually want to find something to make with this. But, alright, so see how there's already like a sewed line or a heated line that they press together? We want to cut on that side of the line. So I put it in my cutting board, and I line it up. So, you know what? I'm just going to put this side at 7 inches. Actually, you know what? It's going to be a little less than 7. You know what? I guess each one is going to be made different. Just cut on that side of the line. Make sure you go through both pieces, and there you have it, right? We're not done. We're going to need to cut some more. Now, what we have to do is we have to get rid of this here circle. All right, now that that's cut, let's put this on our scoreboard. And what you could do is, this can't get cut in your cutter, so let's grab a scoring tool and let's score on the mark that's right below it. And do you see what I just did? I made that score. Then I'm going to grab my scissor and I'm just going to cut up that. Just like that. And I got rid of it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, we do have to get rid of this. Now, to get rid of that, I just stick a piece of paper in there. I grab my X-Acto knife and I gently just cut around it. Just till that pops. I promise it's not going to be an eyesore. Don't go too fast because then you wind up cutting straight lines. All right. So there you have it. Just like that. Now what I want to do is this. I want to just fold it like in half, just like this. Because you don't need to score it to do this. Just give it a good push down. And then burnish it with your bone folder. How easy is that, right? Alright, now that we folded it, what I want to do is this. It's folded. I'm turning it like this because the openings are on this side and the closed part is on my right side right now. I just want to diagonal this. So I'm going to just grab my scissors. I'm going to go in about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, whatever angle you'd like, and trim that off. Just like that. You see what I just did? I made it so that it's 2 individual flaps. How cute, right? Now what I'm going to do is this. We have to shorten this. And in order to shorten it, I want to go over and I'm going to run this through my machine right now. I'm going to start at this top part and I'm just going to run a straight line down. I'm not backstitching it. And I'll show you why at the end. Alright, here we are at my machine, and I'm starting right at the top of that fold. And I'm lining it up, and I have my machine set to, my length is 2, my width is 3, and I'm at a zigzag stitch. You could choose any decorative stitch you want, if you have a favorite. You could do pretty thread colors. I just happen to have black in my machine, and black kind of goes with it on my TN, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just running it down. I'm going to leave my tail long, and now we have to go trim it, and I'll show you what we do now. Now that I've sewn just this part, what I do is I don't want to backstitch because sometimes the backstitch on plastic doesn't look the greatest. So with my tails being left long, I just quickly tie it in a knot. So I'm just going to tie this in a knot and it'll stop it from backstitch, coming out. But when I run my stitch across the bottom, it's going to secure it. So I'm just taking this here, tails, which are long, yay, and I'm just going to tie them in, I'll probably knot it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll trim off the excess thread. Now, our folder is too long. It's too long. So with it folded in half, I'm going to bring it back to my cutter And I'm gonna line this end at the 5 mark. Or a tad smaller, whatever you choose. And I'm gonna slice through them both. And all this, oh, excuse me, all this I need to just throw away. Now, do you see how we have it's squared on this end and it's squared on this end, but we're V'd here? Okay, with our V already done on this side, because I'm a righty, I'm going to cut this side. I'm just going to cut that on the diagonal just like we did the other one, just so that we have a look. Now, do you see, let me show you. You see how they did that? So, you see how it's right there? I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm cutting straight off. I don't want that. So I made them straight. And there's our pocket so far. So now I'm going to run it back to the machine. I'm going to stitch this way. I'm going to stitch this side. And then I'm going to stitch across the bottom. Okay, that wasn't so bad, right? So I'm just going to tie these off real quick. 3 knots, because I left my tails long. And you know what's funny is I have to hide my thread because our little redhead cat, Toulouse, I don't know, a couple years back, I actually had to take all the thread off of my embroidery machine because that darn cat would go up on my machine and he would eat my thread. And the thread got caught in his mouth around his tongue. And we had to take him to the vet because all of a sudden he wasn't eating, he was making all these funny sounds, something wrong with his mouth, he wouldn't let us look in it. And we're like, what the heck, what did this cat get into? And we went to the vet, and sure enough, he ate thread. So when I tell you all my thread, this is probably why I stopped doing embroidery. All my thread is put away. So anytime I wanted to embroider something, because I have a 12 needle embroidery machine, I had to thread it. Do you know how hard it is to thread a 12 needle embroidery machine every time you wanted to use it? So, not that I want my son to move out, but when they move out and Toulouse is no longer living with us, and I get to go visit him at his own house, I'll probably thread my machine again. I probably will. That goofball cat, man. The stories I could tell you about that cat. I know, you don't want to hear them. Alright, so I'm almost done here. Not so hard, right? And this is just my take on it. You can change this up any way you want. Now what we have to do is we have to pick out our snaps. Now you always need a male and a female. So I'm going to use, we need 4 toppers. So I'm going to grab 4 toppers, and the toppers are just the ones with the point on them. See that? That's the toppers. And then for one side, I need the male. So I got 2 males. You see what the male looks like? That's what the male looks like. So I need 2 males, and I have to have 2 females. And that's what the female looks like. Alright. Then this little case came from Amazon, and it comes with this pointy one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pointy thing. You can measure if you'd like. I am just going to, I'm just going to get a visual. And I'm going to just put a little hole right where I think I want it to go. And that's all you have to do. Then, see this here machine? How cute is this, right? This here goes on the bottom. Because when you go to push it down, there's a pointy device in there that actually makes it press. If that makes sense. So you put the, and it doesn't have to be a big piece. Let me show you. See how I just pushed that in? Real gentle. Now I'm going to take the female, and I'm just going to secure her in there. I'm going to rotate it. I'm just rotating it so that I can get to my piece, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Here I am. Now my cap is on the bottom, so I'm going to lift this up. See how I'm doing it? And my cap is going inside the black part. It almost like cradles it perfectly. And I push it down. And what it does is it flattens out that center part. Now for this one, I put the cap on the inside, and I put it through that little hole that I made. Just like that. Now because I used the female here, I need the male. You need one and the other. So I'm taking the tool. My black part is on the bottom because that's where the flat part of the cap is. And I'm going to just give it a quick little push. And if all goes well, when we go to close it, it snaps shut. And then always test it to make sure that your parts actually work. Okay, I'll do it one more time on this side. So I'm going to take the flat part of my cap, put it in here. It doesn't matter whether I'm using the male or the female. I'll put it inside. I'll bring over my tool. Give it a quick little squeeze. Then I'm going to grab my other cap, put it through the hole. I'm going to add my female, because I used the male up here. I got to use the female. Always double check yourself on that, because once these go in, you're not getting them out. Give it a quick squeeze. And we got her done. Alright, so let me zoom you out. And that part is finished. Now you can use washi tape, you can use colored, but look at how stinking cute this is. Now give me a second, I'm gonna be back with inserts for this. So this is what I just came up with. Another cut apart. Yeah, another one. So I cut them out. I'm hoping that I don't have to tweak them. I hope I made them the right sizes. And so I do have to tweak them. Okay, no big deal. Let me tweak it. That's what it's all about, tweaking. I'll have to change that in the cut file. Tweaking, tweaking, tweaking. So 6.5 goes this way. The white side on the inside and the picture side. 6.5 works. I'm gonna go, yeah, 6.5 works on that side. Depends on how much I've stitched. And that will also depend on how much you've stitched. Woo, dropping stuff. Let's see. Oh, and we worked. So close them up, and the designs are on the back and the front. So we'll take the TN. That's my TN. Hold on. This is the TN. And what I did, I think last time was, I think I stuck it around the second buck. But you can rearrange this any way you want. And there you have it. Look at this. And that is it. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this really cute little TN. I hope you have a blessed day. And I will see you all real soon.